Have you ever found yourself pondering why you do the things you do? It's a question that's crossed everyone's mind at some point. Maybe you've wondered why shyness seems to cling to you, making social situations feel like navigating a minefield. Or perhaps you're still cringing over that embarrassing moment that seems to replay in your head on a loop. And let's not forget those moments at work, when you feel like you're speaking a different language from your colleagues, struggling to connect despite your best efforts. In moments of reflection, you might have turned to those personality quizzes in magazines, hoping for some insight into what makes you tick. Through this book, Little unpacks the mysteries behind our behaviors, drawing on the latest research to shed light on why we do what we do. He delves into the intricate dance between genetics and environment, showing how these factors shape our personalities in ways both subtle and profound. But he doesn't stop there. Little invites us to consider a pivotal question: are we prisoners of our personalities? Or do we hold the keys to change? It's a question that strikes at the heart of our desire for growth and self-improvement. And as Little guides us through the labyrinth of personality science, he offers a glimmer of hope, the assurance that while our tendencies may set the stage, we have the power to rewrite the script. Chapter 1: Unraveling First Impressions and Personal Constructs. Let's talk about how we see people for the first time. You've probably heard the saying, "Don't judge a book by its cover." It's a good saying, but it's not always easy to follow. We all make quick judgments about others, based on our first impressions, whether we mean to or not. Imagine this: you're at a restaurant and you hear a customer being really mean to the waiter. What's your first reaction? Maybe you think they're just a rude person. Or maybe you try to understand why they're acting that way. It's easier to label someone as rude than to think about what might be going on in their life. These quick judgments we make are influenced by something psychologists call personal constructs. Think of personal constructs like the emotional glasses we wear. They color how we see the world and the people in it. For example, one person might see the rude customer as just plain rude, while another might see them as assertive or having a bad day. But personal constructs aren't just about perception. They affect how we act and handle problems too. If someone has a narrow way of looking at things, they might struggle more when things don't go as planned. Take a friend who can't get over a breakup. If they start thinking everyone is untrustworthy, they might have a hard time opening up to new relationships. So, our first impressions are shaped by our personal constructs, and they influence how we deal with life's ups and downs. By understanding this, we can learn to be more empathetic and adaptable in our interactions with others. Chapter 2: The Building Blocks of Personality. Have you ever pondered what makes your personality different than others? It turns out psychologists have been on the case for quite some time, boiling down our complex personalities into 5 key traits. These traits act as the foundation of who we are, influencing how we behave, think, and interact with the world around us. Let's dive into the intricacies of these traits and what they reveal about us. First up, we've got conscientiousness. This trait is all about being organized, dedicated, and persistent. Think of that friend who always has their daily work schedule properly planned and tackles tasks with military precision. They're likely high in conscientiousness. These folks excel in structured environments, where rules are clear, deadlines are set, and everything has its place. But what happens when life throws a curveball? Take jazz music, for example. It's like a wild, improvisational dance, where rules are more like suggestions. Here's where the conscientious ones might struggle. Jazz requires letting go of structure and embracing spontaneity, something that doesn't come naturally to the highly organized. On the flip side, those who thrive in the chaos of jazz often find joy in its freedom and creativity. Now, let's shift gears to agreeableness. This trait is all about being friendly, supportive, and empathetic. Picture the friend who always knows just what to say to cheer you up, or the coworker who's a real team player. They're the ones who make social gatherings feel warm and welcoming. But when it comes to the workplace, being agreeable isn't always a ticket to success. Studies show that while agreeable folks may foster strong relationships, they might not always be the ones climbing the corporate ladder. That's because agreeableness can sometimes be mistaken for a lack of assertiveness, which is often valued in competitive environments. Striking a balance between being kind-hearted and assertive might be the key to finding success in both personal and professional realms. As we unpack these personality traits, it's important to remember that no one trait defines us entirely. We're complex beings, each with our own unique blend of characteristics. Understanding these traits not only helps us make sense of ourselves, but also gives us insight into the people around us. So, the next time you find yourself analyzing someone's behavior, just remember, it's all written in the traits. Chapter 3: Decoding the Big Five Traits. Let's dive into the fascinating world of personality psychology, where we explore 3 key traits that shape who we are: neuroticism, openness, and extroversion. These traits, part of the renowned Big Five framework, offer valuable insights into the intricacies of human behavior. First up, neuroticism. Imagine it as your internal alarm system, constantly scanning for potential threats and dangers. Back in ancient times, when our ancestors roamed the earth amidst formidable predators like saber-toothed tigers, being neurotic was a survival advantage. It kept them on high alert, ready to react at a moment's notice. But in today's world, where the dangers are more subtle and nuanced, this heightened sensitivity can sometimes lead to feelings of anxiety and unease. On the flip side, we have openness. Think of it as a doorway to new experiences and ideas. Individuals high in openness thrive on exploration, eagerly embracing novelty wherever they find it. They're the ones who are always up for trying something new. Whether it's sampling exotic cuisine or delving into a thought-provoking book. However, those who score lower on openness may feel more comfortable sticking to what they know, preferring the familiar comforts of routine. Now, let's talk about extroversion. If you're an extrovert, you're probably someone who gains energy from being around others. You thrive in social situations, enjoying the buzz of conversation and activity. Extroverts are often the life of the party, effortlessly engaging with those around them, and drawing energy from the external world. On the other hand, introverts tend to recharge by spending time alone, preferring quieter, more introspective activities. When it comes to collaboration, the interplay between extroverts and introverts can be both fascinating and challenging. Take, for example, a group project at work. The extrovert may be quick to share their ideas and take charge of the conversation, while the introvert may prefer to listen and reflect before contributing. Both approaches have their strengths and weaknesses, and finding a balance between them is key to effective teamwork. In summary, the Big Five traits provide a valuable framework for understanding the complexities of human personality. Each trait offers a unique window into what makes us who we are. So the next time you find yourself pondering the quirks of your own personality, remember the Big Five and the insights they provide. Chapter 4: Exploring Free Traits and Their Influence on Personality. Let's dive into the intriguing world of free traits, a concept that challenges the notion of fixed personality traits and sheds light on the dynamic nature of human behavior. Free traits offer us a pathway to break free from the rigidity of the Big Five traits, allowing for flexibility and growth in our personalities. Before we unravel the mysteries of free traits, it's essential to understand the three main sources that shape our personalities. First up, we have biogenic factors, which are basically traits hardwired into our biology. From the moment we're born, our genes and brain structures set the stage for certain predispositions, like whether we lean towards introversion or extroversion. Then there are sociogenic influences, which come from the environment we grow up in. Think of it as the cultural and social norms that shape our behavior. For example, in some cultures, there's a strong emphasis on blending in with the group, while in others, individuality is prized. These external factors play a significant role in molding our personalities. But here's where it gets really interesting: ideogenic sources. These are the driving forces behind our everyday choices and actions. They're what push us to pursue our goals and passions, even if they go against our natural inclinations. When we tap into these ideogenic sources, we're tapping into our free traits, allowing us to transcend our innate tendencies. Picture this: an introverted person who's passionate about a cause, mustering the courage to speak in front of a crowd. In that moment, they're harnessing their free traits, overriding their natural shyness, to pursue something meaningful to them. It's like unlocking a hidden reservoir of strength and determination within ourselves. Now, while free traits can propel us towards personal growth and fulfillment, they also come with their own set of challenges. Sometimes, in our quest to achieve our goals, we might end up suppressing important aspects of our personality. This can lead to internal conflicts and even impact our health negatively. Research suggests that those who suppress parts of themselves are more prone to health issues, both physical and mental. On the flip side, individuals who embrace authenticity and express their true selves tend to experience greater well-being and resilience. It's like living in harmony with yourself rather than constantly battling against your own nature. And here's a fascinating tidbit. Even in the realm of psychology, practitioners who encourage openness and authenticity in their clients tend to have stronger immune systems themselves. It's a testament to the power of authenticity in promoting overall health and well-being. In essence, free traits offer us a glimpse into the potential for growth and transformation within ourselves. By understanding and harnessing these free traits, we can navigate the complexities of life with greater ease and authenticity, ultimately leading to a more fulfilling existence. Chapter 5: Navigating Social Situations. Ever notice how some folks are like chameleons, blending seamlessly into any social setting, while others stick to their true colors no matter what? It's not just chance or mood swings, it's all about self-monitoring. Think of self-monitoring like social radar. Some people, the high self-monitors HSMs, have it cranked up to max. They're like social sponges, soaking in the vibes and adjusting their behavior to match the situation. One day, they're the life of the party, cracking jokes and making friends. The next, they're quiet as mice, observing from the sidelines. It's not that they're fake, they're just super sensitive to social cues and want to fit in. On the flip side, we've got the low self-monitors, LSMs. These are the folks who march to the beat of their own drum, no matter where they are. You'll never catch them changing their tune to please others. Whether they're at work, with friends, or on a date, what you see is what you get. They're like rocks in a river, steadfast and true to themselves. Now here's where it gets interesting. Your self-monitoring style can even influence your romantic life. Studies show that HSMs are all about surface-level stuff when it comes to relationships. They care about looks, charm, all the shiny things. LSMs, on the other hand, dig deeper. They're into personality, values, the real deal. So while HSMs might hop from fling to fling, chasing that initial spark, LSMs are more likely to build lasting connections, based on shared interests and values. But how do you know where you fall on the self-monitoring scale? It turns out your taste in steak might hold the answer. That might sound weird, but there's a study that says HSMs are more likely to taste their steak before adding salt. They want to make sure it's just right before diving in. On the other hand, LSMs, they trust their gut. They know what they like, so they season that steak without a second thought. In the end, self-monitoring is like your social GPS. Whether you're a chameleon blending into your surroundings, or a rock standing firm in the stream, understanding your style can help you navigate the twists and turns of social life and love. So next time you're at the dinner table, pay attention to how you season that steak. It might just tell you more about yourself than you realize. Chapter 6. Embracing the Power of Illusions for a Better Life. Have you ever stopped to wonder just how much control you have over your own life? It's a question that often leads to two distinct camps of thought. On one side, there are those who firmly believe that they hold the reins of destiny, steering their lives with purpose and determination. They see themselves as the captains of their own ships, navigating through the vast ocean of existence with confidence. On the other side are those who feel more like passengers tossed about by the unpredictable waves of fate with little influence over the course of their journey. Now here's where it gets interesting. Studies in psychology have shown that those who perceive themselves as having control over their lives tend to experience certain benefits. For example, imagine a group of elderly individuals living in a nursing home. When they are given the opportunity to participate in decisions about their daily activities, they not only report feeling happier, but also show improvements in their overall health and well-being. It's as if the simple act of feeling in control empowers them to lead more fulfilling lives. But what about the flip side? What about those times when we believe we have control, but in reality, we're just fooling ourselves? You see, we all have our own little illusions, those ways of thinking that make us feel better about ourselves, even if they're not entirely true. Take, for instance, the classic case of thinking we're funnier or more talented than we actually are. Sure, it might give us a temporary boost in confidence, but in the long run, it could lead to disappointment when reality doesn't quite measure up to our inflated expectations. However, it's not all doom and gloom. In fact, some illusions can actually be good for us. Consider the case of someone struggling with depression. When you're in the grips of despair, it's easy to feel like you have no control over your life whatsoever. But by holding on to even the slightest illusion of control, it can provide a glimmer of hope, a ray of light in the darkness. Of course, that's not to say that we should blindly buy into every illusion that comes our way. There's a fine line between healthy optimism and outright delusion. And when it comes to making important decisions like choosing a career or a life partner, it's essential to approach things with a clear head and a realistic outlook. But once the big decisions are made and life settles into a steady rhythm, that's when a little bit of positive thinking can really work its magic. By believing that things are going well, we can actually make them go even better. It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. The more we think positively, the more positive outcomes we tend to experience. So, in the end, it's all about finding the right balance. Embrace the illusions that bring you comfort and strength, but don't let them blind you to reality. Use them as tools to help you navigate life's ups and downs, and you'll find yourself on the path to greater happiness and fulfillment. Chapter 7. Unraveling Stress and Personality. Imagine this: you're cruising along smoothly in your daily routine, when unexpected challenges hit you like a ton of bricks. It's like gliding through calm waters until a sudden storm brews. How you weather these disruptions depends on who you are at your core. Let's talk about the 3 Cs of hardiness: commitment, control, and challenge. These puppies essentially dictate your resilience when life throws you a curveball. Flashback to the groovy 1970s when researchers nosed around a group of employees, grappling with major changes in their company. They wanted to peek into how each person tackled the stress of these shakeups. Those who aced the stress test scored high on commitment, control, and challenge. They clung to their daily grind like a lifeline, even when chaos reigned. Plus, they felt like masters of their own destiny, steering clear of that sinking feeling of helplessness. What's more, they saw challenges as opportunities, not roadblocks. But listen, too much of a good thing can be harmful as well. Take Type A personalities, for instance. These go-getters thrive on hustle and bustle, but their relentless pursuit of the 3 Cs can bite back. Picture this: a Type A dynamo forced to loosen their grip on the reins. Ouch! It's a blow to their ego. Suddenly, they're knee-deep in work commitments, ignoring everything else. And let's not forget their competitive streak, which can spin out of control faster than a Ferris wheel on overdrive, leading to health woes like sky-high blood pressure and heart woes. Balance is the name of the game. Instead of charging headfirst like a bull in a china shop, aim for harmony in control, commitment, and challenge. When these 3 amigos sync up, you'll ride the waves of life with finesse and fortitude. So, next time stress comes knocking, remember, it's all about personality. Embrace those 3 Cs like a pro, and you'll dance through life's obstacles with style and grace. Thanks for tuning into our audiobook summary of Me, Myself, and Us by Brian R. Little. We're thrilled you're here. Before you go, don't forget to show some love by hitting the like button and subscribing to our channel. We've got loads more awesome audiobooks lined up for you, so stay tuned. One of the big takeaways from Me, Myself, and Us is that human personalities are like a box of chocolates, always changing and surprising you. Sure, some traits stick with you through thick and thin, like your love for chocolate, while others can flip-flop depending on what's going on in your life. Understanding this roller coaster ride of personality is super important. It's like having a roadmap for navigating through life's twists and turns. Brian reminds us to keep a good balance of control, commitment, and challenge. Think of it as the perfect recipe for whipping up success in any situation. And here's the cherry on top: positive thinking. He also talks about how our rosy outlook on life can actually be our secret weapon. You know, those little white lies we tell ourselves that everything's going to be okay. Turns out they can push us to achieve more and bounce back stronger when life throws a curveball. So, the bottom line is, embrace your inner chameleon. Recognize that your personality isn't set in stone. It's more like a mood ring, changing color with every new experience. And hey, we'd love to hear what you think about all this. Feel free to share your experience in the comments.